Hi everyone. Just finished watching the season 9 episode 10 series finale of Dexter. And I guess I'd do a rundown of what the pros and cons of the episode were. For those of you that like your dessert first, I'll give you the pros. For starters, it's funny to me that Dexter's own son killed him. That was pretty emasculating. Of course, the series tried to play it off like it was his decision, but it's pretty obvious his son was going to kill him regardless of how he felt. He pulled the gun on him before he even told him to. Two, Angela completely compartmentalized the part of her that had any feelings for Dexter. He was not able to woo his way out of the situation. No, she just went to complete cop mode. In prior seasons, they tried to play it off like, oh, Dexter's this physically fit, suave guy, and in real life that can get you out of every situation. Sorry, life's not a big giant soap opera. Three, that he killed Sergeant Logan. Not that I wanted him to kill Sergeant Logan, but I like that they showed, they reminded the audience that Dexter is, a pathetic murderer, you know? And I emphasize the word pathetic because this leads me to number 4. He wanted his son to kill him. And he specifically stated that, if he turns himself in, he'd be facing the death penalty. And I think, even though he didn't mention it, there were images in his mind of all the inmates of whatever penitentiary he may be sent to. Because, like the show tries to play it off like he's a kung fu master or whatever. And maybe he is, but in prison, there's size and strength. That means very little. There's no such thing as a fair fight in prison. That's common knowledge. Another pro, I guess, let me see. Well, it got shoved in his face by his own son. Would my mother still be alive if it wasn't for you? Yes. And he couldn't even answer that. That's how spineless he was to the end. He just couldn't verbally acknowledge what he's done. Um, Another thing is Batista finally knows that Dexter is the piece of shit that killed his wife. Like I always hated how everyone gave Dexter the benefit of the doubt at Miami Metro. I remember in season 5 when Joey Quinn, that buffoon, he was investigating Dexter and LaGuerta shut him down because she felt sorry for Dexter for because his wife had been killed in the season before, basically by his hand. And yeah, it was by Trinity's hand, but we all know it was Dexter's fault indirectly. So, and that was Maria LaGuerta's undoing. She was always a little stupid. Not that I'm saying that she deserved to die, but she was always stupid, and she wasn't a good person, but she didn't deserve to die. I guess my cons are just way more. One thing is that I don't know if this was just an internet rumor, but I heard that an individual from Dexter's past would be appearing in the last episode, in addition to Batista. If someone did and it was briefly and I didn't notice, feel free to tell me in the comment section. But I didn't see anyone else from his past besides Batista make an appearance. It would have been nice if Batista actually got him to look him in the eyes and just tell him off and basically deliver a little police brutality because he deserves it. Another thing, in terms of brutality, it, it was just a little too easy how Dexter got out of that situation, killing Logan. Um, and on top of that, like it was a little very stupid of Angela to just leave Logan there all by himself if she really thought he was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Or at least not tell Logan that he's a Bay Harbor Butcher so he could be mentally prepared not to get close to this guy. Because, earlier in the episode, Logan told him to go to the other end of the cell. But when, he pulled that fast one on Logan, he didn't tell him to. But if Logan had been told beforehand that he most likely was the Bay Harbor Butcher, I'm sure Logan would have told him to go to the other end of the cell. So that's a screw up on Angela's part. Another thing is one piece of storyline that didn't receive closure is the boy that Harrison slashed in the leg. What happens? Is he gonna face criminal charges? What happened to his family? Like did are they still social pariahs? Pariahs? I'm guessing in the Dexter universe, they won't be after news comes out about Dexter because everyone will just assume that the boy is telling the truth about Dexter's son, that he stabbed him for no reason. And I'm sure, I'd like to think, because she seems to be so honest, not the brightest, but Chief Angela will back up that boy's claim because she's probably going to suspect, well, Harrison must have stabbed him out of nowhere because he's got a lunatic for a father. So, yeah. I mean, she ultimately ended up giving Harrison a pass, but, I'm sure she'll come to that conclusion on her own. Another con is that, let's see. How this is minor, but Angel is still, like, hopelessly, needy when it comes to women. When Angela called him in the episode, he immediately thought that she was calling to hit on him. So just, Angel, please, he's like, is there any woman that he's been with that didn't dump him? um, Another thing is that let's see, I guess. But yeah, like Andrew, she didn't stock the police precinct with more security. I already went over that part, and yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I guess that's all I could think of, honestly. And you know what? I don't really blame myself because it was a pretty uneventful episode. They said it would be internet breaking. This episode was mediocre at best. Not much happened. It's just mostly some guy sitting in a small town police precinct just denying that he did all the things he was accused of. And that's basically it. And that's the end of this train wreck. And if I can slide in a pro, I'm glad that he had this uneventful death. He just died like a nobody in the snow. That's, at the end, that's who you are. You didn't get some grand speech and get a farewell as if you were like some sort of superhero, Dexter. No. At the end, you're just someone who's not right in the head, and you got put down like an animal, just like your brother, Brian Moser. I know that's another thing that should remind you that Dexter was a piece of crap, and a coward. Because way back in season 1, he didn't have to kill his brother. He could have turned him into the police. But he didn't want his own past being discovered. Because if he turned in his brother may talk. But again, finds a justification for everything. His justification was that his brother was trying to kill his adoptive sister, Deb. And that's true, but he didn't have to kill him to save her. He could have just, turned him into the police. But again, coward as always. And one last minor one, that's it, I swear. Unless I come up with more stuff, I'll do a follow-up video. They didn't do anything with that oil tycoon. And he just was really good at projecting this creepy vibe. But I guess that was their way of throwing it off. But I think he could have been utilized much more. Anyways, take it easy.